Hello, hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today I'd like to talk about love spells. Well, I'm not going to just talk about love spells. I'm going to show you how to do a love spell. Now, the thing about love spells is that they could be customized. So in this case, this is something that could be used for romantic. It can be used for self-love. It can be used for an existing relationship. I am currently in a relationship. I'm married. So this is going to be, something where I'm basically trying to manifest this energy into the relationship. Something I want from my romantic partner. Okay? So I'm going to get into it in just a moment and we'll go ahead and get started. All right? So, one of the things that I like to do is to do a tarot reading before I start most spell work. Anything that's more ritualistic, like kind of like a love spell, what I'm doing right now, a working, I like to thoroughly shuffle my cards and, I want to pull a card or several cards if need be. I think it's important. I like to reach out to ancestors, spirit guides, a specific deity. I'll make the distinction at the time, asking for guidance, asking for help, asking, you know, should I be doing this, depending on what it is I'm doing. And I'm very comfortable with receiving that information, and I'll take it from there. I've never been told no. When I'm doing this spell, I've never been asked to not do something. So just to be clear, that's never happened. But what I'm doing right now, I'm just shuffling these cards. And the whole purpose of this is, again, to just reach out, to ask for some guidance and to get, a message if I need to about the spell work that I'm doing. Again, I think it's really important, especially if you're new to this and you don't have a specific guidance or relationship with a specific deity, or you're just on starting this journey with ancestors. I personally think it's imperative to do some sort of divination practice ahead of time, just to, tap into those waters to make sure you're on the right track. Again, you don't have to, but I really do think it's important. It's honestly it's been beneficial, and I've been practicing for more than a decade now, and I've been doing this portion of it for almost that long. It started out of just concern about, doing it right. But look what I pulled, and the lighting's a little off, but I was able to pull the Queen of Cups. I'm going to try to angle this so maybe you can see. I'm using the Everyday Witch tarot deck, by the way. But yeah, that's the Queen of Cups. And she's all about, receiving, nurturing. To me, she's the queen of femininity as far as in the cards are concerned. This lighting sucks, I'm sorry. But anyway, there we go. Yeah, so I think that's like a positive, and that's a message as well, but it's definitely giving me the go-ahead. So I'm going to move ahead based on, this reading. I feel confident in moving forward with the spell. So I'm just going to place this over to the side, again, as a focal point. If I was to do a larger reading, I would have that off to the side. But yeah, it works better over on this part of my working area right now. Okay, so I did a video where I talked about this witch's box, my witch's box. So it's basically a place to hold all my spell supply, well, some of my spell supplies, like this feather, which is going to be great in just a moment, that I'll be using. I love this. And all the other things. I've made powders and like this one that, I've made ahead of time. I'll link these videos so you guys, if you haven't seen those videos on how I made these things and why I made these things and what's inside of these glasses, I'll be sure to link that video. But yeah, that's going to be super important. It mainly contains cinnamon, star anise, these warming type of herbs, which are perfect for love spells. And that is why I am going to use that. So that's what that's about. Now, you can use any other herbs, any other herbs you choose to use. For me, this makes sense. This is why I like to make things ahead of time. I don't have to think too hard about it. It's just done. And I can use them for multi-purposes and things like that. So moving on. All right, so I have that ready to go, and now I'm just gonna light my incense. I like to light an incense typically for the purposes of kind of getting the party started. When I'm doing any workings, most of them start with lighting an incense. It's sort of you can cast a circle, you can do whatever you want. That's how I get that energy moving. That's how I get the vibe going that I want. So this particular incense that I lit is amber. It's an amber incense, and amber represents quite a few things to me. I like to use this for the purpose of passion, fire, desire, and I'm just going to use this feather here to kind of spread that energy, because that's what I want to bring. I want that warmth, amber, fire, passion. At the same time, it's grounded energy. So I'm tapping into that. So I want to evoke that. I want to bring that to the forefront. I want to surround myself with that. Smell that, because that's what I'm feeling. That's what I want to attract. That's what the basis, the undercurrent of what I'm working on. So that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, so at this point, I'm just fanned a little bit of more of the smoke, the incense smoke. Again, spread that energy, get that going. Like, super important, stay in it, stay aligned. I'm talking to do this video, but if I was doing this by myself, I'd be a little bit more, I'd be quiet, or I'd be saying something under my breath or in my mind, and a chant, so to speak. But moving on. So I have these candles here, and if you see, let's clear some of the smoke out of the way. Hold on. So the candles that I have here, they each represent different aspects that I'm bringing. Obviously, you would use the different candles that you want, or different types. These are chime candles, but there's a specific point to each of the colors that I chose to go with. So green, resourcefulness. Prosperity, all of that sort of stuff. Remember, I'm talking love, romantic relationships. So that green is going to be about, my partner to be resourceful, to come with that earth energy. That's what that green is representing. That's what that's the purpose of that color. I could have went with brown or something like that, but that groundedness, then pink is that love, that the sweetness, the passion, the tenderness, all of that sort of stuff. I want that energy. I'm just spreading more of that smoke. That's all. But that's what that's going to represent. I just want more of that in that relationship, more that type of energy. So that's what that pink candle is representing. And then there's the yellow, and the yellow is about optimism. It's about, tapping into that solar energy, that sun energy, that masculine, because that's how I see the sun. Metaphorically speaking, metaphysically speaking, that sun energy is masculine. So yeah, I want that represent. I like that masculine energy, and I just want to bring that in. Now, this is not to say I don't already have these things, but this is the energy I would like to tap into. So that's what I'm doing. So just going to go ahead and, meditate on that for just a moment or so. I'm just thinking about it, what all these things represent, and we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, so I brought up my anointing oil. Again, I did a video on how I create that, so I can link that. But yeah, the next part of this is carving in those things that I talked about, that each of these candle colors represent, these chime candles. So that's what I'm going to do. So I just write in, masculine, that's what I see it, sun energy. So I'll write, masculine energy or something to that regards. Those things that I talk about, you carve that into the candle. So that's basically just what I'm doing, for each one. So that was, my yellow, sun, gold, masculine, type energy, optimism. So I put optimistic on there. That I actually put optimistic on there, by the way. And then the pink one, romance, um, love. So I write those words on there. Those are the types of things you want: romance, you want more love, tenderness. So you would write those words. Pick a word. You don't have to write all of them, but I wrote those on there. And then my green one, prosperity and resourcefulness. So I'm just writing that on here as well, because that's the type of energy I'm carving in. I don't know if everyone, I think a lot of people do this, but I'm a big believer in when you have these types of candles. That's one of the advantages to having these types of candles versus the glass ones, is you get to carve onto there, or put symbols, runic symbols, whatever you're into, whatever that meaning is, that's what you put on there. So I'm just putting a little bit of my anointing oil on my palm. If you notice, I'm putting it in my left palm, and I just roll it on here. A lot of people use way too much freaking oil on these candles and are thinking this wonderful thing is happening with the flames, extending super high, when the reality of it is you just use too many herbs and too much oil on your candle. There's the practicality of this, the mundane aspect as well. Just be mindful. That amount of the oil that was on my hand was enough to coat each of these candles. And I'm just anointing it. And the way I see it, I like to use my left hand. If you notice that, my left hand, for the purposes of doing this, because I almost see that as like the receiving end. And that's my right hand there, where, that's the part where it's doing this part of the work, and my left hand is like representative, almost the universe is receiving all this magical working that I'm doing. So yeah, anyway, that's how I like to think about it. So moving on. All right, so now I'm just gonna do what's next. For me, it's gonna be, let's light these candles. We've anointed them, or I've anointed them, carved and anointed. So let's get to writing. Look at that, they both lit at the same time. Things like that I don't mean to do. I think those are positive things, the prosperity, love, and then, followed by that solar optimistic energy from the yellow candle. Yeah, I dig that. I don't know, when I see stuff like that, it gets me really excited, because I'm like, wow, okay. Those are just signs from the universe. So, all right, so yeah, you see I have my little book here. I got this from a little crystal kit. There's a video for that too. I did a witchy review on it. But anyway, I'm going to take a piece of paper out of this little notebook. I've been using this more for petitions and like for burning. And here's where this gets more customizable. This is the part that's customizable even more so. You just write down what it is that you want. What is this love spell for you? What do you want? And it doesn't have to be whole sentences. It could just be words, because you're putting the feeling behind it. What do you want in, this relationship, this romance? Because right now this is a romantic love spell that I'm working on. So I'm going to write some things down here. Love, obviously, you want romance and sorry about the lighting, guys, and you can't see too much of what I'm writing, but yeah, you want to write down all those things. Again, like I said, it doesn't have to be whole sentences, but it could be a picture. Again, this is where you can do symbols and gestures and things like that. But basically write down what it is that you want. Respect, you want it to be, two ways. You want it to go back and forth. So you want to be you want this person, somebody you can respect. You want that energy, and you want to have them give you respect as well. So these are the things that you write down. Again, you can add symbols, you can put pictures, you can put something on the back. You can do whatever you want here. If this is self-love that you're doing, you can add more details about that. Whatever that means to you, like I said, draw symbols, circles to represent unity, whatever you like. The point is, this is where it gets super customizable. This is where you can kind of do what you want to do to kind of define this spell for yourself. So I'm going to put this back in my little witch's box. So I got my paper here and the powder herb that I created from before. I'm going to go ahead and just place that on this paper. Now this might look very interesting in a moment, But yeah, I'm going to put that on the paper. Oh, I'm just holding up this crystal here. I didn't point it out earlier. You want to, it's a love spell. So you want to get, find a crystal that represents love, pink quartz or, moonstones, whatever that is for you that resonates with you. So yeah, I'm putting that herb powdered mixture on here, and that's probably a little more than I needed, but that's okay. Again, some of us get a little crazy with the amount of herbs and oils that we use. We're heavy-handed. I know sometimes I am clearly as well, but that's enough. So again, I'm using that for the purpose of burning. I'm going to burn this in just a moment, but anyway, I'm rolling it outwards because I'm sending this out. Okay? Then I come forward because I want to receive. All right? All right. And then you're going to see in a second here where I'm basically sealing this on either side. And I just say, this is where you say, so mote it be. As I will it, so it is done. Final intentions, put it in your cauldron. And we're going to light this puppy on fire and get this thing going. Release this into the ethers. And I am very thorough. I like it to turn into ash when I'm done. So you're going to see me just lighting. And, this is the time to meditate and to really think a little further on what it is that, you're putting that energy out for. What are you attracting? What do you want? And maybe kind of daydream right now. And as you light it, watch the flames of the candles, watch the flames from the burning petition. And yeah, just get into it. Really just feel that vibe. You got the incense going. So that's aromatherapy happening, as well as the actual metaphysical elements of the incense burning. All of that is culminating, and you just want to be present and just be in the moment. Make sure the windows are open so that smoke and all that could go out. That's the point. You want it to go out into the universe. And you can see I'm not playing. I'm burning. I am burning this to ash. That is the purpose of this. So I am going to continuously burn until it's ash, because this is important. This is what I want. I'm spending this energy to do so. So that's what you see here. All right, so it is ash. I feel pretty good about this now. So that's pretty much the spell, and I'm just checking. You see that? Those are ashes. That's an old pen that I use. That's what I used to carve. And, I just want to make sure you see that. I'm not playing. I just want to make sure that it is thoroughly, turns into ash. And now where you dispose the ashes is up to you. Honestly, you can dump them in the trash if you so choose, because the act of the alchemy that you just did is enough. For others, you can take it and you can put it outside. It's up to you. I don't like to go into what the right way and all that sort of stuff is to do. You do it the way you want to do it. Otherwise, you can dump it in your front lawn, backyard, what have you. And I'm just ringing this bell. I'm doing a voiceover because I was having some issues with the microphone when I was recording. So sorry you don't actually get the part of the bell ringing, but if it helps, I'll go ahead and ring it now. And that purpose of the bell, again, is just entering into yet another plane, kind of going through crossing yet another bridge of existence, going on to another plane of existence, I should say. And this is where you meditate, and it's just, to me, all of these things, the smell, the sights, the sounds, they all blend together and make the spell sort of come alive. It's a sensory thing, but it's waking all of the parts of you up, your third eye, chakras, all that, aligning that to your purpose. So that's what I'm doing here. It's bigger than just, writing a petition and lighting a candle. You can see that. You want to activate everything to get going. And like I said, this is the time you can meditate a little bit further, ring that bell, a little bit more if you want. It's whatever flows. Let that energy flow through you and flow out of you, so you can begin to attract the very thing that you're asking for. And that's what this is about right now. So thanks again for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I hope that this is inspiring you as well to go ahead and tackle a love spell. It's the season. And I love this feather, by the way. I'm just going to spread a little bit more of this energy. But thanks again for watching. I'm Mika. This is Leap Taken. Please like, subscribe, share if you've already subscribed. Thank you, and thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.